This isn't a video making fun of fat people. This is a video calling out the extreme entitlement behavior coming out of the fat positivity movement.
Fat was never considered a bad thing. Well, until it was associated with black people during the transatlantic slave trade.
Okay, part of this is correct. Fat wasn't always considered a bad thing because we didn't always know that fat or being fat was a bad thing. If you look as far back as Renaissance paintings, being thick and curvy back then was actually considered beautiful. It was considered the ideal. Probably for the same reason that paler skin was. And this had nothing to do with race and everything to do with class. Rich people were able to afford more food, live a more luxurious lifestyle, lounging around the house most days. And poorer people tended to work in the fields. They didn't have as much food. Therefore, they were, outdoors in the sunlight, exposing themselves to the elements, and they would have darker skin. They would have more muscular bodies.
And as we know, black people are not discriminated against and oppressed just because of the color of their skin. It's every characteristic and trait that's been assigned to black people. Fatness was one of those characteristics.
I don't think this is true. Again, I think it has nothing to do with race and everything to do with class. People who tend to be overweight do tend to be less wealthy. States like Mississippi and West Virginia have the highest obesity rate in the US. Yes, Mississippi has a large black community, but West Virginia is mainly full of white people. The common ground here, again, is that they are more poor states. They are, in fact, the two poorest states in the country.
Acknowledging where the hatred of fat people came from and its ties to the systemic oppression of black people helps us understand why systemic oppression still exists for fat people today.
Systemic oppression of fat people? How? How? Because airplane seats aren't big enough for you? Like, what exactly is holding you down? Gravity? Gravity's holding you down more? Are there some instances of this? Yes, of course. Someone tweeted this at me and I actually agree with it. There are instances of it. Waitressing is a job where you can be fired or not hired for being fat, even though it doesn't affect your ability to bring people food or take their order. But some places want waitresses that are hot, and it's legal to discriminate against fat chicks. I don't think it would make sense to discriminate in this case anyway, because I don't think a waitress being overweight or unattractive would lessen somebody wanting to buy food. It definitely would not hurt said business. If a business has a certain look and feel to it, I also understand why they wouldn't hire certain types of people. I mean, look at Hot Topic. Yes, those stores still exist in the malls by your house. Brands are allowed to sell a lifestyle. Do you think that Hot Topic would hire somebody that looks like me? Like, no. Trust me.
Can we talk about how irritating skinny splaining is? Like, yes, now as a nearly 30-year-old woman, I am aware 1,200 calories is not enough. And even the video this comment came from made it pretty clear I knew that now. But even further, I am abundantly aware of what exercise is and entails. And I am so sick of thin people coming into the comments of mainly fat women's videos and explaining the concept of walking as if we've never done it before.
I will agree with one thing that she says, and yes, I'm assuming this person's pronouns. I feel like she could be a they, just because she's in that like super lefty identity of politics. I do think that a lot of fat phobia is actually redirected misogyny. Let me explain. I do think society in general is way harsher on women when it comes to their bodies than men. We see it all the time in mainstream media when a woman gains weight or when she loses a ton of weight. The media is on top of that shit. With men, it's generally not even a second thought. Now, as far as people coming into fat women's, whatever this person said, comment sections and telling them that they have to exercise, I don't think it's a bad thing. I get people in my comments on my videos when I talk about my anxiety. I get them in the comments all the time telling me, you should try this, have you tried that, you should do this, and I just obviously roll my eyes and I'm like, of course I've tried all those things, and it frustrates me a little bit, but I've made a habit of taking a step back and realizing where these people are coming from. Do they mean well? Yes. Instead of looking how it impacted you or triggered you, look at how their intent was meant. They mean well. They are trying to help you. Don't take offense to that. This is my message to those people. Stop being insulted by someone who means no harm. Stop allowing positive, loving comments to become negative.
Like, Miss Thing, I have hiked all over the world. I don't need you to explain to me that walking is a form of exercise. And unless or until a fat person explicitly states that they would like advice on these topics, you need to stop assuming we don't have the knowledge.
Fair enough. I don't think it's bad intent for someone to offer advice. I think they are, like I said, being helpful or trying to be helpful. But as I also said, I understand why somebody like myself would be annoyed by it. But at the same time, you are on a public ass forum. You are on the internet.
And you wonder why we don't trust these people. It happens every single time. Every single time. This is from today. This is from today. Yeah, no. Wasn't fat rep. Was not ever fat rep. Unapologetic fat actors forever and only. Till the end of time.
It's not boring to want to better yourself. Can't believe somebody said that. No, I can believe somebody said that. Stop bringing people down for not agreeing with you. That's boring. You see, this is why I actually think people are commenting things on the previous video, because of videos like this. Because when somebody in the public eye does talk about improving themselves, losing weight, being more healthy, whatever that is, the loony left comes for them. Remember what they did to Lizzo a few months back? Yes, Lizzo did very much become a symbol of body positivity and even spoke about being, her being bigger in some of her songs and like juice. So naturally, when she announced that she was going on a new venture to better herself, to lose weight, to be more healthy, they accused Lizzo of fat shaming. Fat shaming. I'm so heartbroken that Lizzo has just done a diet detox and broadcasted it to her millions of followers. If you have also seen it and you are feeling like your body needs a change, it doesn't. You are perfect as is and your worth is abundant. Yes, but it's not about being yourself in this world. It's about being the best version of yourself. Keep that in mind.
The term body positive, technically, it only exists because of body shaming. I think that people should naturally be body positive, and body positivity should be something that is like built in our culture.
I love this quote by Lizzo because this applies to both situations, fat shaming and fit shaming. I've said it a few times and I will say it again. Fat shaming is not good, but fit shaming, yes, that is the term that arose from this debate, is also not good. Both are judgmental of people's bodies and both actually do nothing to help the people involved. One of my favorite quotes is, are you making a point or are you making a difference? In this case, they're just making a point, and it's not a good one. Since they fit shamed Lizzo, she did actually have the best response to them, so props to her for this.
I'm working out to have my ideal body type. And you know what type that is? None of your f***ing business.
Next!
Opinion, and you can sound off in the comments if you want, but you won't change my mind. Fat people don't owe you anything, but the world owes fat people accessibility.
I can't reach things on the top shelves of the supermarkets or even like the top shelf in the cabinets in my house. The world isn't made to accommodate me either. Does that mean that short people are oppressed too? Am I oppressed? Am I finally oppressed? Does the world owe short people accessibility? Somebody said, I'm 6'4". The world is not meant for my height either. Desks, subway doors, seats on planes. I'm feeling oppressed. The world is built for average ass people. Get the f over it. Somebody said, as a fat person, I say the world owes me nothing. And I have a responsibility to make better choices and to change myself. And no amount of this body positivity nonsense will change my mind. I'm overweight, and while I would like to be able to fit into smaller chairs and ride on amusement park rides, it's entirely up to me to make this happen. The world doesn't owe me anything. Listen, as a former leftist, kinda, I saw all of this coming, all of it, except this video. Did not see this one coming.
Or personal trainers say, take progress photos to stay on track. What they're actually doing is perpetuating the lie that us humans are healthier when we are smaller, which is simply not true.
This is the first time I've seen a fitness influencer say this kind of is being smaller equal to being healthier? No. Being healthier is equal to being healthier. And that varies for each body type, right? But there are also a lot of similarities because bodies are all bodies. Does that make sense?
These transformation photos also demonize the before photo as someone that is not good enough just as they are.
Wow, okay, again, disagree completely. The before photo isn't meant to demonize the way somebody looked before. It's meant to show progress and to show others that are watching and themselves that are looking back on their old selves. Wow, I can do this. I've come so far. Look at what I can do.
What does this content say about somebody that looks like the before photo? It says you are not good enough as you are, and I had to go to extreme lengths to not look like you, and I'm being celebrated for that.
No, what someone else posts about their body and their journey has nothing to do with me. It's their journey, it is not my journey. Comparison is the thief of joy. I truly believe that statement. If you want to be healthy, do it for you. Don't sit and compare yourself to somebody's before and after photos in the same way that you wouldn't compare yourself to celebrities in magazines that are being airbrushed. So today's new phrase of the video was fit shaming. I want to add one more new phrase to that, and that is something I just came up with, and I'm going to call it activist entitlement. These types of people, these types of activists have this mindset that because they think they're doing something positive in the world, that everybody now needs to cater to their needs. That because they are morally superior, that they are allowed to degrade anyone that doesn't fit their standards of, moral behavior, of what they consider the best at the time. And the hypocrisy, as always, is absolutely insane. Somebody on Twitter nailed it. They said, loudmouth leftism is about asserting moral superiority for yourself and for a group that you belong to through attempts to inspire guilt. Forget it. Your attempts to shame others turns potential allies into enemies. And look at all these states turning red. Look at the big red wave. I wonder why. Do you want to insult good people or gain progress? Pick one. Agreed. So yeah, are there situations where people are actually oppressed in some ways? Yeah, probably. Different parts of the world have different oppressions depending on the way society lives in those parts of the world. But do I think the world is somehow systemically rigged against fat people? No. But I'm sure after posting this video, I'll get told that I am skinny-splaining after this. That's a thing too. Other than that, I will see you guys back here on this channel in a few days with a brand new video. I love you. Make sure you are subscribed if you're not already, and go and follow me on my locals page because I post a ton of content there that I don't post on here. And it's a way to support this channel and the videos that I make. It's free to sign up, but if you can afford it, $5 a month helps me out a ton. I'll see you guys back here in a few days with a brand new video. Until then, I love you, love yourselves, love your bodies.